Is it just me, or are we all a little bit nosy when it comes to someone's spending? I mean, for me personally, if someone comes on or tells me how much they're spending for groceries every week, I'm immediately comparing it to what I'm spending. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually think that there should be more financial transparency, and that is something that I try to do by sharing what I call real people budgets. These are budgets that people send in to me, and I share what people are spending money on. Hi, my name's Allison Baggerly. I'm the face behind Inspired Budget and author of Money Made Easy. And I am nosy when it comes to people's money. I don't think that we should be shaming ourselves or necessarily judging others when it comes to their spending, but I think that we can use seeing someone else's budget or where their money is going as inspiration for ourselves to get clarity on where we want to send our money. So today I am sharing a real people budget with you. Okay, here's a little bit of background on this couple. They live in Mesquite, Texas, which is near Dallas, Texas. She is a high school counselor earning $72,000 a year. After taxes and insurance, she makes $4,300 a month. So that is her take-home pay. That's what actually hits her bank account. He is an HVAC technician and he makes $68,000 a year. After taxes and insurance comes out of his paycheck, he actually makes $5,543 a month. Now you might be wondering, why is her salary more but she brings home less? Well, that could be for a few things. Number one, they could have the kids on her insurance plan, so she could be paying more for insurance, whereas if he has insurance, it's coming out of his paycheck, or she could be contributing to her 403b. So she could be investing extra into a 403b, and that would kind of highlight some of the discrepancies in those numbers and why she's actually bringing home less every month, but making more, if that makes sense. Either way, their combined take-home pay is $9,843 a month. She told me that right now they are in a season of sacrifice. They have two kids, one still in daycare, one in elementary school, and she said that they want to pay off their $60,000 of debt as fast as possible, which means that they want to live on less. They're willing to say no to certain things. They're willing to skip out on vacations or maybe do staycations or visit family as vacations. They want to live on less so that way they can send as much money towards their debt, specifically their credit card debt. So I'm going to show you their fixed expenses, their variable expenses, how much they're saving, how much they're sending to debt. I'm going to give you the whole picture. Here we go. Their fixed expenses include their mortgage, which is $2,035 a month. This includes property taxes and insurance, so money going into escrow for those. They pay for daycare for their toddler, which comes out to $1,200 a month. It is insane to me how much daycare costs, like absolutely insane. Internet for them is $80 a month. Cell phones are $95. That's for 2 lines. Their car insurance is $175 a month, and their life insurance is $63 a month. They also have a couple streaming services, and altogether for their streaming services, they're spending $38 a month. I think having streaming services is so important when you're paying off debt because we need a little bit of entertainment, right? Like we do. I mean, books are fine and all, but I want to watch a good trashy show every now and then. So their fixed expenses comes out to $3,686. Let's talk about their variable expenses. Variable expenses are going to be the ones that change month to month based off of our habits. So let's say our electricity, for example, if we turn our air down and make it really cold in our house, our electricity bill is going to go up. If we start eating at home more, our grocery bill will go up and our restaurant's amount will go down. So our variable expenses are the ones that are not going to stay the same. There is going to be some variance. They are going to be variable in the amount that we spend based on our own habits. So let's look at theirs. They have electricity, which they're budgeting $250 a month. Gas for their home is $45 a month. I know that in Texas, living in Texas, we don't use propane or natural gas often. It's usually for a hot water heater and sometimes in the winter. Water and trash is coming out to $95. They are budgeting $200 for gas, $950 for groceries, which I honestly think is really reasonable for 2 adults and then an elementary age child and a toddler. I think that's actually like pretty pretty good. They are budgeting $150 for restaurants, so maybe they'll go out just a couple of times during the month, or they'll pick up fast food every now and then. Kids expenses like diapers, things like that, they're budgeting $120 a month for that. $100 for personal care. That could be anything from beauty products to haircuts. I mean, whatever you do to take care of yourself personally. And then $100 for fun money to spend as a family or together. They're also budgeting $50 for clothes. Even if they don't use that $50 every month, it's good to kind of set it in your budget and either take it out in cash and put it in a cash envelope, or put it in like a separate sinking fund, because there comes a time when you need to replace clothes, especially with growing kids. I know firsthand, they grow out of things pretty quickly. And so it's good to have like a set amount in your budget every month to help cover some of those things. And then I personally added in a $150 buffer for them. I'm a big believer in having a buffer in your budget. For me, this looks like having just an amount in my budget because I might go over budget in some areas, or something unexpected might come up. I might spend $980 on groceries instead of $950, or I might have to buy a birthday gift for my son's friend for him to go to a birthday party. Just gives you kind of like breathing room in your budget for things to happen. Altogether, their variable expenses come out to $2,210. Let's talk about savings. Like I mentioned earlier, they are really focused on paying off debt, so their savings is pretty minimal. She said that they are saving $400 every month toward their emergency fund. They already have money in an emergency fund, but I think they're just trying to increase it a little bit. And they are sending $150 a month to a holiday fund. That way, when December rolls around, they can cover all of their holiday shopping without feeling like they have to go into debt. One change I would love to see them make, if possible, is once they hit a good emergency fund goal, let's pretend that they have a goal to have $10,000 in an emergency fund. Once they hit that amount, I would actually love to see them take that $400 that they're sending to their emergency fund and instead invest it in a Roth IRA. I think that would be chef's kiss, because it would help them build wealth while focusing on paying off debt. Speaking of debt, let's talk about it. This family has $60,000 of debt. They do have one car payment, which is $397 a month, as well as two credit cards. So they're sending $200 to credit card number one and $250 to credit card number two. Their student loans comes out to $450 every single month, and they do have a medical debt, probably a hospital bill, and they're making a $100 per month payment on it. Altogether, their minimum debt payments every single month, like what they have to pay every month, is $1,397. What's so wonderful is that when you're willing to live on a budget and you're willing to sacrifice, and when you make, good money. I think bringing home $9,800 a month is really amazing. When you make that money, you can take any of your extra money and send it straight to debt. So what's incredible is that this family actually has $2,000 left every single month that they can send to debt. As long as they're willing to live within their means, live within this budget, they can realistically make a $2,000 payment towards their first credit card and possibly even pay it off. So we can put that in their budget, having them send an extra $2,000 to debt every single month. I think that it is so important to write a budget because honestly, it helps you see what you value spending money on. I've heard this saying, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but it's show me what you value, tell me what you value, and I'll show you your bank statement or something like that. But basically, we value what we spend money on. So if you are spending all of your money on restaurants or shopping online, impulse buys, things like that, that's where your value lies. And sometimes when we look at our spending, when we look at our budget, we might realize, you know what? I don't want to value that anymore. I value paying off debt and keeping more of my money more than those late night Amazon purchases. So I think writing a budget allows us to make sure that our spending aligns with our value. And I'm a firm believer that you also have to track your expenses. Like, oh my goodness, setting a budget is not enough. Like for me personally, I'll just say for me personally, writing a budget is not enough. I can write a budget, and then if I'm not tracking my spending, if I'm not seeing, is Am I actually following this budget? Is what I'm spending what I'm saying I'm going to spend? If I don't do that, then I could just throw the budget away. Like I could make it and write a plan and then just be like, crumple it up, be like, never mind, that doesn't work. I personally sit down every morning, Monday through Friday. I don't do the weekends. I take 5 minutes to update my spending tracker. It's within the same budget spreadsheet. I just open up the bank app on my phone. I log my spending that happened the previous day, and then I can easily compare. Okay, I said I was going to budget $150 for restaurants, but I've already spent $120. So we need to rein it in and make sure we are cooking from home. That's what tracking your spending allows you to do. It allows you to see, am I being realistic? If you want a copy of this specific budget spreadsheet that was made by yours truly, you can get it down below. I'll leave a link for it. Also, if you want to share your budget with me, I would love to feature it. I'll also leave a link down below where you can actually fill out a form and give me all of your information. It's free. It's also anonymous, so I won't share your name. Don't worry about that. And I would love for your budget to be one in our Real People Budget series. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any future content. Thanks for joining me.